Okay, good morning, January 3rd, 2025, and we are continuing to follow the workbook, one lesson per day from Course in Miracles. And just a quick review of the introduction before we get to the third lesson for today. The purpose of the workbook is to train your mind in a systemic way to a different perception of everyone and everything in the world. The exercises are planned to help you generalize the lessons so that you will understand that each of them is equally applicable to everyone and everything you see. So, as is being said here, in the fourth paragraph, this is a mind training system, and I am working in a systemic way, according to the lessons from Course in Miracles. I am working in a systemic way to a different perception of everyone and everything. According to A Course in Miracles, my mind is split between the ego mind and the Holy Spirit. A.W. Blue, Donald, KG, Marianne, and Kitty. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Every morning at 11 a.m. I will be going over a lesson from the Course in Miracles. Today is January 3rd, of course, so we're on the third workbook lesson, and that lesson we will also look at one section per day from the text. So we're also on the third section today from the text of Course in Miracles. Excuse me. This is the introduction, and we have just covered what the purpose of the workbook is for. We're trying to change our perception. I want to change my perception because my conditioning has placed my mind in a place that I do not understand, and I do not perceive that the world is one thing, that consciousness is one. There is only one mind. It is the mind of God. I share that mind with God, and I share that mind with you and with everyone and everything. So as we go through the workbook, paragraph 6 says the only general rules to be observed throughout then are, first, that the exercises be practiced with great specificity as will be indicated. This will help you to generalize the ideas involved to every situation in which you find yourself and to everyone and everything in it. Second, be sure that you do not decide for yourself that there are some people, situations, or things to which the ideas are inapplicable. This will interfere with transfer of training. The very nature of true perception is that it has no limits. It is the opposite of the way you see now. And Tulane, hi. If you decide to join me here in the live, hit the screen a few times, put some likes onto this live, hit the screen so that we can get the likes up. It'll help with the algorithm. I appreciate your help. Roblox Girl, Robert, and Isla, how are you? Welcome. The last paragraph of the introduction to the workbook for A Course in Miracles says, remember only this. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept them. And you need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. But do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains. And whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than this is required. So it's January 3rd, the third lesson of Course in Miracles says, I do not understand anything I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. So the last 3 days, as it says in the introduction to the workbook, we are looking for a shift in perception, and we are training our mind in a new way, and we are undoing the way we normally perceive the world, the way we normally look at the world. So lesson 3 says apply this idea in the same way as the previous ones. So lesson 1, 2, and 3, lesson 1, we have said nothing I see in this room means anything. And it tells us the statement should be applied to anything you see. As you practice the idea for the day, use it totally indiscriminately. Nothing I see in this room means anything. Lesson 1. Number 2, same thing. This was yesterday. I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me. And the idea here is to understand that the world is neutral. There is no meaning in the world. Hi, James. Hi, Bruce. Mercy, Betty, and Rico. Thanks for stopping by. The idea of the second lesson for the course is I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me. The world is neutral, and my response to the world and my perception to the world is based on the ideas that I project onto the world. And lesson number 3, today we are saying, I do not understand anything I see in this room. I do not understand it. Again, we want to undo the typical way of looking at the world. It says, apply this idea in the same way as the previous ideas without making distinctions of any kind. Whatever you see becomes a proper subject for applying the idea. Be sure that you do not question the suitability of anything for the application of the idea. These are not exercises in judgment. Anything is suitable if you see it. Some of the things you see may have emotionally charged meaning for you. Try to lay such feelings aside and merely use these things exactly as you would anything else. And here, in the second paragraph from the lesson today, it gives us an idea of what we're trying to do with these first 3 lessons. It says the point of the exercises is to help you clear your mind of all past associations, to see things exactly as they appear to you now, and to realize how little you really understand about them. It is therefore essential that you keep a perfectly open mind, unhampered by judgment, in selecting the things to which the idea for the day is to be applied. For this purpose, one thing is like another, equally suitable and therefore equally useful. And as we start out on this journey throughout the year, of course, the ideas will become increasingly more complex. The ideas will begin to work together in association with each other. But as it says, I'm simply going to apply the idea and not worry about the results. So lesson 3 is asking me to say I do not understand anything I see in this room. As I move throughout my day, the things that appear before me, this table, this chair, that bookcase, I do not understand anything I see. I do not understand that bookcase. I do not understand those knickknacks. I do not understand the lamp. And I'm simply repeating that exercise and allowing the exercise itself to work upon my consciousness. Now, we will also now go to the text, and we are on the third section in the text, chapter 1 of A Course in Miracles. Hi, Gabe. Hi, Flip Flop, Ferdy, and Neb. Thanks for checking out the live every day at 11 a.m. I am going through the workbook lesson of the day from Course in Miracles, and then also reading or reviewing one section from the text. So, January 3rd, today, we are on the first chapter. The third section of the first chapter is called Atonement and Miracles. Of course, this is the Course in Miracles, and there is a very specific definition for miracles given by the Course. Those 50 principles of miracles and those definitions are covered in the first section called Principles of Miracles. There's 50 principles of miracles, which you can review, which will help you discern and understand what the definition of a miracle is according to this text. And also, the atonement or at-one-ment has a special definition according to the Course in Miracles. Also, as we have learned from the preface to the book, this is defined as a universal curriculum, but it is not to become a cult or a church. It is a framework for thinking about a universal curriculum. It says in the preface that it's just one way of thinking about it, and that it is a Christian framework in this case. The voice in the Course is said to be the voice of Jesus. And in the third section here, that voice identified as Jesus, and by the way, you can go to one of the later sections of the book. It's called Clarifications of Terms, and you can read what the definition of Jesus is according to A Course in Miracles. So here it says, I am in charge of the process of atonement, which I undertook to begin. Again, this is the voice of Jesus. When you offer a miracle to any of my brothers, you do it to yourself and me. The reason you come before me is that I do not need miracles for my own atonement, but I stand at the end in case you fail temporarily. My part in the atonement is the canceling out of all errors that you could not otherwise correct. The errors that are being talked about there are the errors in our mind, errors of perception. These errors are created by the ego mind. These errors are created by the part of the mind that believes it is separate from God. Okay, of course, the mind being one is not separate from God. However, a belief has developed, and we operate under a belief of separation. And by going through the text and doing the workbook lessons from Course in Miracles, we are training our minds. I am training my mind to give up that idea of separation. This continues and says, when you have been restored to the recognition of your original state, you naturally become a part of the atonement yourself, as you share my unwillingness to accept error in yourself and others. You must join the Great Crusade to correct it. Listen to my voice, learn to undo error, and act to correct it. The power to work miracles belongs to you. I will provide the opportunities to do them, but you must be ready and willing. Doing them will bring conviction in the ability, because conviction comes through accomplishment. The ability is the potential, the achievement is its expression, and the atonement, which is the natural profession of the children of God, is the purpose. So that's a very interesting statement to finish that first paragraph in section 3, which says the natural profession of the children of God, the purpose, the reason I am here on the planet is the atonement. The reason I am here is to remember my oneness with God, and to achieve that sense, to achieve that sensibility in my own mind, to realize there is one mind, there is one consciousness, that we are all one, which is defined as the atonement in the Course. And as we work on the workbook lessons and continue to read the text, the third paragraph here says the forgiven are the means of the atonement. Being filled with spirit, they forgive in return. To be forgiven, to realize in the mind and in consciousness that both myself and my brothers are sinless. There is no guilt. How is that possible? Based on the conditions which are seemingly here on earth, how is it that I am sinless? How is it that the people that I see are sinless? My brothers and sisters are sinless. Well, by going through the text and going through the workbook, that idea begins to fill itself out in our consciousness. But the idea is that this is a dream, and I am the dreamer of the dream. My experience on this planet, on the earth, in this realm, my experience is a dream. I am the dreamer of the dream. I am part of the dream in the mind of God. And one of the parameters of this dream is that I've placed myself voluntarily in a situation where I consider myself, quote unquote, separate from God. I consider myself and all the people I see around me to be separate. How do I know that's true? Well, because everything seems separate. There are separate bodies. There are objects everywhere. And so the objects and the separate bodies are symbolic of an idea that we all hold in our minds. And the idea is an idea of separation. And so that idea of separation is expressed as separate bodies, as separate objects. This idea is explained in greater depth throughout the text. It is addressed in the workbook. So it is one of the ideas that I am trying to change. I'm trying to change my mind about that idea. I'm trying to realize that I am not a body. Okay, I am using a body. I am using this spacesuit to operate here, but I am not my body. I am spirit. I am one with the Father. That is my true nature. My true nature is that I'm a spiritual being. I am a being of light, let's say. So, as you go through the Course in Miracles, as we go through, Shona, my realtor, hi, how's it going? Out in Los Angeles. So as we go through A Course in Miracles, as we go through the workbook, we're looking for a change in our consciousness. And I'll just finish up with the 5th paragraph here in the 3rd section from Course in Miracles. If you don't have the book, all of this, the entire book and all of this information is online at ACIM.org, CourseInMiracles.org. That's the foundation for inner peace. The entire text is online. So the 5th paragraph here in the 3rd section of chapter 1 says, wrong thinking, error cannot really threaten truth, which can always withstand it. Truth can always withstand error. Only the error is actually vulnerable. You are free to establish your kingdom where you see fit, but the right choice is inevitable if you remember this. And then it has these 3 sentences in italics. First sentence, spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your reality is only spirit. Therefore, you are in a state of grace forever. And so the practice, the studying of the text and the using of the workbook phrases is to help me achieve and embody that idea that I am in a state of grace forever. Atonement undoes all errors in this respect and thus uproots the source of fear. So fear is the opposite of love, according to A Course in Miracles. Atonement undoes all errors that contribute to fear or ideas of limitation, not enoughness, and the opposite of fear is love. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we want to achieve. And that's where we're headed. That's what this mission is all about. That's what this practice is all about. So that's it for today. I hope you're having a great start of your new year. As I've said, every morning, 11 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, noon on the East Coast, I will be going through the daily lesson and then a section of the text. You can come by and watch it on this channel. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And also, I will take this live recording and upload it to YouTube. So you can also, if you miss the live and you're interested in just hearing some of the ideas that we encounter in text and through the workbook, you can go to my YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. Effortless Manifesting. I see you all the time on this platform. Nice to see you here. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a great day.